Hey everyone, it's LS, and today's video is going to be a little bit different, but I'm forced to make this video at this point because the ridiculous amount of, I guess you could call it harassment at this point on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, elsewhere, etc., because of a lot of misinformation and misunderstandings is really crazy. For a lot of people that don't know, me and TF Blade got into a game with one another a couple of days ago, and in that game, TF Blade obviously went off on me, and I went off back on him. I am a pretty confrontational person, and when someone is going to come at me, I'm just going to go back at them, depending on like the degree that they're to come at me. And I felt like TF Blades was really personal, so in kind, I ended up obviously getting very heated as well. And attempts to resolve it on Discord or through mutual friends and stuff was just not working. No matter how many mutuals tried to get involved, Yasuo, Sanchovies, Midbeast, and others, TF Blade just did not want to talk, did not want to resolve it, and eventually I had to turn on my stream after about 30 or 40 minutes after the game ended, and then I ended up having pro players end up reviewing the game. But that's not what this video is about, and if you actually want to see the opinions of various people who have no relation to the events, there's various videos on YouTube that you can find. Augurin reviews the game. Nemesis ends up going through the entire game. So another rank 1 player, also former pro player. Lots of content creators and extremely high MMR players have reviewed the game. So that was that. Obviously, I was very upset because I felt like me and TF Blade had past experience with one another. When he was last in Korea, I helped him out with some various things. And then also in 2019, when he got the Twitch ban and stuff, I tried to help him out then too. This is why I had VIP in his chat, and this is why we last talked when he was in Korea. So I was very taken aback when he was going off on me in the game, even after me telling him that I am LS. And so, hey, you know me. And then we obviously got very personal with one another. Fast forward, and TF Blade ends up getting banned on Korean solo queue. And the thread goes up. Initially, it was a 2-week ban, but then it got changed to a permanent ban. And what ended up happening after that is apparently Detention, one of the other boot camping players that is here right now, had an LCK player in one of his games. The LCK player apparently said to Detention that Detention's an NA player and that he will make sure that Detention and all the other players end up getting banned. Now, for a lot of people that don't know, there is an LCK hotline. There is a literal direct communication that LCK teams have, and I believe even Korean influencers have, to be able to contact Riot and report people immediately, and Riot actually responds to it very quickly. The whole reason that this hotline exists is because of the harassment that was going on towards Faker a couple of years ago with all the win trading and everything else that was happening. And so I believe that is why Riot made that hotline. So I woke up and I saw the thread, and I ended up making a tweet that he gets banned, and I say it's good that he's banned, and it's no surprise because I obviously said that he should be banned even when we were having the argument because of the way that he treats other Korean pro players and the way that he's treating pretty much everyone on this server and the tirades that he's going off of on stream. Now, the thing that a lot of people are not aware of is that I had made attempts prior to that to try to warn TF Blade that there is already problems brewing in some of the Korean communities, and obviously with his last interaction that was going on inside of Korea when he was last here, there was already animosity towards him. I had tried to reach out to several of our mutuals to warn him that, something like this might end up happening and that there could be actually bigger problems that could eventually arise because of this. Because the laws of Korea are just different. And so in that tweet, I ended up saying, I'm curious if any of these things are actually going to happen, because I think it would be very bad if this would happen, and maybe he should just end up leaving the country. Now, I ended up showing Dante's and several other people a lot of these messages and mutuals of, TF Blade and I can attest to the fact that this was all something that transpired. So it's really weird that a lot of people think that I either want him to face legal repercussion or that I wanted something to happen to him, even though I never actually went to Riot or anything trying to do anything to TF Blade. Even though initially, when he was going completely off, I did say to Sanchovies on the stream and whatnot that, this is getting completely out of hand and, this could easily be escalated. And I think that a lot of people conflate that with them thinking that maybe I had something to do with TF Blade's ban. After TF Blade ended up getting banned and Detention got banned, suddenly all of the other streamers at that hotel started getting banned. And all of a sudden, there was a big meeting that took place on Dante's stream. And during the meeting on Dante's stream, I ended up becoming sort of like the mediator between Riot Korea, or not mediator, but I became the middleman between Riot Korea and the streamers. And even I'm sort of a middleman because I'm going through Quest, who has contacts inside of Riot Korea. So we can't actually get direct communication with Riot Korea. And apparently the streamers have reached out, but they've been unable to make any contact. And on my side of things, I mean, I just go through Quest. So while all of this is happening, there is a lot of crazy things that are going on, and a lot of people are just thinking that I'm behind all of this somehow. Now, I don't know how people reach that conclusion, and it feels really bad because for the remainder of that night, for several hours, I spent constant time communicating with Dante's and all the other streamers about what was going on with Korea. And some of the messages will obviously appear inside of this video. Dante's has showed a lot of them on his stream, and that is what was going on there. After realizing that they were banned, they kept thinking that it was an IP ban, and the contact at Riot that we had could not confirm that it was an IP ban and could not confirm what exactly was going on, but that they would not unlock or unban any of the accounts. That was a surety, and, you know, all the other problems. So with that being said, I ended up saying to Quest, let's try to get them, you know, Riot super server accounts for China. And so Quest ended up reaching out to some writers who contacted, I believe, Tencent or Riot China, whatever you want to call it. And it looked like we were probably going to be able to get them accounts in China. And that was something that I wanted to try to get that done for them as fast as I possibly could. And the following morning, they ended up responding saying that it was not going to be possible. And so at that point, it just looks like things are kind of doomed. Now, it seems like a couple of the streamers ended up having LPP accounts, and those LPP accounts got disabled. I ended up telling Dante's that I don't know what it looks like client-side when a writer goes to ban an account, and so they might not realize that one is LPP and is actually proper, because all the other streamers are potentially playing on accounts owned by others, which falls under identity theft. But I'm not going to say that they are. But so anyways, that ends up happening. Now, there was also the misunderstanding where a lot of people misunderstood my tweet, obviously with TF Blade, and also the interaction even with Dante's inside of that tweet, where Dante's also misunderstood what was going on there, where a lot of people seem to think that I was trying to make something happen towards TF Blade. And like I clarified multiple times, I tried to actually make it so that something like that didn't happen by warning TF Blade, because I don't believe in canceling someone over not doing like absolutely horrible things or something like that. I think I've been pretty clear in my stance on canceling or, you know, any of those types of measures, right, over the years. So it's really strange to me that I was trying to have preventive measures for TF Blade by messaging the mutuals and trying to like basically warn that like maybe something like this could end up happening. And now the whole thing is start cycling, and a lot of people are tying it to me. Now it feels really weird because this whole thing has just had a lot of drama thrown my way, and I don't really know what to do about it. The reality is I responded to TF Blade directly flaming me, just because, I mean, TF Blade goes to every server. He flames everyone and anyone. This is not a common occurrence. He's done it to lots of other very, very big personalities, pro players, other streamers, you know, etc. And sometimes someone's going to eventually just not take your shit, and someone's going to respond to you, and that's exactly what happened. So with that being said, it feels really bad that this is the situation. Earlier today, there was also the conspiracy theory that, you know, I'm secretly behind this. And so there was that whole conversation that went on stream, and barring like Riot coming on stream and just directly saying something, I mean, I don't know what else I could end up doing, but fortunately we managed to work that out on stream. And so that was a good call with Dante's and everything like that. But this whole time, I've just been trying to help the streamers the same way that I have before they came to Korea. and the same way that I have for the last 10 years anytime boot campers have come to Korea. It's really, really, really weird when people endlessly misrepresent my character or things that I do, or even just things about me, which was also part of the problem with like the TF Blade comments, because he continues to perpetuate a false narrative about me that attempts to also undermine like credibility inside of the game. And to that, obviously, there's going to be a lot of screenshots that appear on the screen now where a lot of people think that, over the years, it's actually really funny. We're actually moving up. So first I was Plat hard stuck. Now I'm Diamond hard stuck. Now I'm just Master with Duo Q only. So, we're moving up. Next it'll be GM by only one tricking, and then, who knows? Although I last hit GM like 2 years ago. 3 years ago, actually, 3 years ago. But that aside, it is a really weird thing. So for a lot of people that do not know, obviously I've been doing co-streaming for the last 3 years. I do not actively play the game a whole lot. I was Master Tier Season 4 to Season 10. I was in the top 400 to, 1,000 of Korea at many, many, many points in time when I wasn't doing all of that stuff. Now, I had casting stints as well, if you guys recall, back in Season 6, but it's just really bizarre the amount of false beliefs that surround me or my ability to like play the game, even when I play in like scrims on stream, or when I had the Korea 9 stint as their mid laner for a month and a half. And it's all just very strange. It feels very bad. It feels really weird. And like I was saying to some of the other streamers out here, it's just really confusing that everyone is DMing me for help while they're out here. It can be anything. It can be food apps. It can be travel. It can be hotels. It can be how to save more money. It can be computer problems, phone problems, account problems, anything. And I respond to literally all of them. And prior to them coming to Korea, I try to set them up with accommodations and stuff that'll make everything cheaper, or I'll show them how to save money so that they don't end up getting scammazed and all this other stuff. And just endlessly, the community and people's perception of me is just so far detached from what actually goes on, and it's mind-numbing to me that other personalities or other streamers don't like speak up. And again, that was one of the things that TF Blade was going on his tirade about on stream, where he's like, I leech off other people, and there was Tenacity and Sanchovies was even in the call and others, and they were laughing at how ridiculous it is, because the reality is that the opposite is true that ends up happening with boot campers that obviously come through my house, or like, trying to get various people jobs, or trying to vouch for people, or coaching people, or helping out, various people over the years. It's actually just, it's mind-numbing. So the current state of affairs is that Riot China will not give them accounts. I am trying to figure out ways to get them other accounts. I am in active talks with Quest, trying to resolve whatever I possibly can for all of the streamers out here. And then in addition to that, I am still trying to help them on the side with whatever else that they actually need help with. And it's just really confusing, because this whole time I'm not streaming because I'm super stressed out. I mental boomed the other day when all of this is going on, and I'm just being misrepresented and misunderstood. And it's really confusing. I can't take it. So at this point, I decided that I'd make the video, and I told Dantes that I'd make the video, and he wanted me to include the conclusion of the call that we had on stream earlier on today. But this is just really weird, man. It's very, very, very strange. I don't know why so many people will continue to either lie about me, or think that there's something nefarious going on, or that somehow something is up. There were people in Dante's chat claiming that, I reported him with malice and stuff, and so I had to immediately send Dante's the screenshot that shows my DM with malice, because it literally says in the DM, I can't report other people. I can't report on other people's behalf, and obviously I did not report him to Riot or anything like that. So, and there would be no way for me to show that I didn't even report him to Riot, because there's no messages. So it's like, there's nothing that I can do. So the whole situation's absolutely crazy. I am stressed out, and it's weird, because I was up until 5 a.m. last night trying to help Alois when he ended up getting banned again. And I don't know, man. It's really weird. And it's sort of like what I was saying to Tenacity on stream, which is like, why do I continue to help people almost like endlessly? And a lot of people, even will point out that yeah, I have a problem where I also like forgive people too, or at least that's what Max would say, right? Because I think that a lot of past bad relationships that ended very poorly, they're not bad anymore, right? We've made amends, and I've managed to rebuild some bridges with some people in the past and whatnot. And yeah, this whole community, this whole scene, this whole situation, it's really weird. Like I want to read a quote really quickly just to conclude this video. And again, I understand that the order of this video is not, super great. I just wanted to get this video out there. I'll talk more about it on stream and whatnot. It's just really strange. It's really weird. I just want lies and perception and other stuff about me to end. I understand that I can be a little bit weird with responding to some things, and we can probably say that sometimes it's the autism, other times it's probably just my personality, and I understand that. I'm a pretty confrontational person, and I'm also non-agreeable. I don't believe in showing people respect that show none to you. And when I see someone bullying others, or when I see someone being like really mean to others, when I see someone doing bad things, if I can help prevent it or stop it in some way, I've always wanted to do that. Always just been something that I've done, which is also why, like, over the years, I think like similar situations like this have also arisen in other areas, right? And it sucks. But anyways, final quote that I want to read. I've seen people within esports foaming at the mouth of the downfall or shortcomings of other personalities that they don't support or are part of their communities. But something to realize is that every time a personality or other people make bad decisions or take massive L's, the whole scene potentially takes a hit. Now, I am paraphrasing a little bit because I'm changing some of the words, but the general message is still the same. Every time that there is big immature controversy, or there's failings or attempts to do something and things just go completely haywire, anyone on the outside who might have wanted to get involved with certain things or been interested in certain things is going to be immediately turned off. Obviously, there's competitiveness and wanting to be the best or whatever, but a high tide raises all ships. For the good of esports and the scene, we should work together and be continuing to move forward in a positive light. Again, I'm paraphrasing a little bit because the general message was about the people that celebrate the downfall of esports organizations and like other types of things, because it means that their org will end up better. So anyways, and now concluding this video, I just will say that we'll continue to try to help all the streamers that are out here, try to figure out whatever we can do in order to help them. And unfortunately, guys, I'm not Riot, so I can't just give them accounts. I can't, bypass certain things, etc. And I don't have the kind of power that people think that I have within Riot or something to where I can just fix all of this. Because if I could, then I obviously would, or would have by now. I would not have spent the last 2-3 days on trying to do all of this stuff. So what I'm hoping is that I'm able to help them with the China server stuff. And if I can't do that, then it is going to suck. And I do feel really bad for everyone making the trip. And it is extremely just unfortunate. And I saw TF Blades' tweet. And look, that shit writes itself. Okay? Look, that is not a good tweet, okay? That's not a good tweet. I wanted to say that I hope that something like this never happens again, but that tweet makes me think that it could, and it sucks that just a lot of people got caught in the crossfire this time around. But yeah, that's it for this video. For a lot of other random context and stuff, again, talk about it on stream and whatnot, and a lot of people can find the videos of other high-level players breaking it down. My VODs are also on Twitch, if you wanted to see the VODs of, me and the other people breaking it down. And then you guys have the screenshots from other stuff inside of this video, because it's absolutely ridiculous that the attacks went the way that they did. And now the people on social media that are being as vicious as they are. So yeah, that's it. All right. See you guys.